Very good morning to all of you. I cordially welcome you all for this applied thermodynamics course. So today's classroom discussion topic is uh, functions of boiler mountings and accessories. So far in the previous classes, we discussed about what are the various types of the boilers like fire tube boiler, water tube boilers, and similarly the high pressure boilers. And we discussed about the important examples of the fire tube boiler as well as the water tube boilers. But here the today's class is very important one. That is, it is very essential to know the functions of the boiler mountings and accessories for the safety and performance point of view. And the outcome I'm expecting after this particular lecture is you should be in a position to explain the functions of the boiler mountings and accessories with the help of the neat sketches. So here, first of all, what is the need of the boiler mountings in a thermal power plant? So why these are basically called as the boiler mountings? So the boiler mountings are the different fittings and devices which are mounted on a boiler shell for a proper functioning and safety. So it's very important one, that is without boiler mountings, the boiler cannot work properly. And similarly, for the safety point of view also, the boiler mountings are very essential one. So that's why these are basically formed an integral part of the boiler. So that is, first of all, there should be a difference between the boiler mountings and accessories. So you should be in a position to explain what are the differences between the boiler mountings and accessories. So mountings are basically needed for the proper functioning and safety of the boiler, and these are an integral part of the boiler because these are mounted on a boiler shell. That's why these are known as the boiler mountings. So what are the various boiler mountings we are having? So here we are having the two safety valves we are having. So the second one is the high pressure and low water safety valve. So this is basically there on the Lancashire boiler as well as on the Cornish boiler. And two water level indicators. Next is the fusible plug, because in the competitive examination it will give you the example like this. Is a fusible plug is an example of A, boiler mounting, B, accessories, C, both, D, none of this. So that's why you should be in a position to know what are the various examples of the boiler mountings and similarly on boiler accessories. So here you can see the safety valve is an example of the mounting. High pressure and low water safety valve, it is also mounting. Water level indicator mounting is a fusible plug. It is also boiler mounting. Next is the pressure gauge, steam stop valve, feed check valve, blow off cock, manhole, mud box. So these are very essential things to operate the boiler. That is, without pressure gauge, so you cannot know how much amount of the pressure is basically generating inside the steam, that is inside the boiler. And similarly, the steam stop valve, it is very essential. That is, how much quantity of the steam is to be supplied to the given application. This basically depends upon the steam stop valve. Feed check valve is very essential because how much amount of the water is to be supplied to the boiler. So that is the feed check valve. So similarly, the fusible plug and blow off cock, all these are very essential, the boiler mountings. So here the safety valves are basically located on the top of the boiler. That is, what is the location of the safety valve? They are always on the top of the boiler. So what is the function of the safety valve? So these are basically that is the excessive high pressures whenever they are generating inside the drum. So automatically in that particular stage, the safety valve will come into the picture. That is, if by chance the safety valve is not located, then the excessive amount of the pressures will be generated inside the boiler. So the explosion problems will take place. So due to that particular, the very extremely high pressures which are generated inside the boiler. So that's why the safety valve is very important one to safeguard the boiler against the excessive high pressures which are generating inside the boiler drum. So if the boiler drum is exceeding, that is, if the pressure of the steam in the boiler drum exceeds the working pressure, then the safety valve allows to blow off a certain quantity of the steam to the atmosphere. That is how it will function. That is, whenever the pressure increases inside the boiler drum, then automatically, that is, the required pressure will be set by the boiler operator So whenever it exceeds that particular the pressure, automatically the safety valve will come into the picture. So automatically, like your pressure cooker whistle, so that is the steam will be sent off to the surrounding atmosphere till it will attains the required amount of the pressure. So there are four types of the safety valves are there. That is a dead weight safety valve, spring loaded safety valve, lever loaded safety valve, high steam and low water safety valve. So that is for one application to another application, what type of the safety valves are normally to used, that is basically varies. So here I have given you the overall picture about the boiler mountings and what is the function of the each and every the device. So just now I told you that the safety valves are basically used to do not allow boiler pressure to rise beyond the safety pressure. Then the water level indicator, it will shows the working level of the water in the boiler. Pressure gauge indicates the working pressure of the boiler. Steam stop valve, it always regulates the amount of the outgoing steam. So here the feed check valve, always it will control the amount of the feed water which is to be supplied to the boiler. Blow off cock, yes, it is very, very important. Allows to drain water from the boiler. So whenever there are the mud particles, all those particular particles are accumulated in this particular blow off cock. So just we have to turn off this particular blow off cock. So all the unwanted the particles will be drain off from this particular blow off cock. So manhole, so it is space to enter the person into the boiler for any repairing functions or any maintenance functions. So mud hole facilitates the removal of the heavy impurities settled in the boiler drum. The fusible plug is it will stop the boiler if its heating surface is overheated due to the lower water level. So if the water level is low, then automatically the boiler, the surfaces, the boiler plates, automatically they will be overheating. So due to the overheating, we are able to have the crack formation will takes place and the failure problems also will takes place. So the fusible plug will takes care of if any the water level is low, the overheating of the boiler drum, so that particular one will be regulated by using the fusible plug. So here, so the dual function safety valves are high pressure, low water safety valve. So it allows escape of the steam in the case of unsafe higher pressures or unsafe lower water levels. Lower water and higher water safety valve, so it will whistles by blowing steam in case of the unsafe low or high water level in the drum. So feed pipe is nothing but is a lead the feed water to the inside of the boiler. So these are the important components of the boiler mountings. Now the second component is the boiler accessories. So the boiler accessories are not mandatory in any thermal power plants. So these are basically used to increase the performance of a thermal power plants. But boiler mountings are mandatory. So without boiler mountings, you cannot run the boiler properly safely. But the boiler accessories are not mandatory. It is only is a choice that is to improve wherever there is a choice of the improvement in the thermal power plant is there. So then automatically you have to go for all these types of the accessories. So let us go to the economizer, because I just now told you that in the competitive examination it will give you economizer is an example of so boiler accessories, superheater and priming pipe, air preheater and steam injector. All these are the examples of the boiler accessories. So what is the function of the economizer? So preheating the feed water by utilizing the heat of the waste flue gases. I just now I told you that economizer inlet is the atmosphere water. So here we are having the water. So here the flue gases are basically coming in this particular direction, so that at the exit we are having is a hot water. So the cold water is the inlet, and here you are having the flue gases. So with the help of the flue gases, the cold water will be converted into the hot water. And similarly, what is the next one? The superheater. The superheater is nothing but it will increases the temperature of the steam at constant pressure beyond the saturation level. So next, the anti-priming pipe. So it is a filter out the moisture from the outgoing steam. Air preheater, the same example here. So instead of the water here, we are having the air. So we have to make use of the flue gases which are leaving through the chimney to heat the fresh air. And the steam injector to lift and force the feed water into the boiler. So these are the various boiler accessories we are using in this particular one. So let us see one by one, that is the various types of the safety valve. So it is a dead weight safety valve, and here it is a spring loaded safety valve. So here you are able to have the lever. So with the help of the lever, so here it is attached to the spring. So because of this particular lever, it will be the movement will be there like this. It will be lifted up and lifted down. So like this, the safety of the valve will be taken place, and here it is a lower loaded safety valve, and here it is a high stream and low water safety valve. And I will explain you all these in physical in our IC Engines lab, because in our IC Engines lab all these models are available. So whenever you are having this particular the topic, just I will we will go to the IC Engines lab and I will explain all these things in physical mode. So don't worry about this working principle of all these things. So similarly, just I'm showing what are the various boiler mountings which are available. So it is a water level indicator, and it is a Borden pressure gauge, and it is a fusible plug, it is a blow off cock, it is a feed check valve. So just now I explained what are the functions of all these things. So just now I am showing the figures. The manhole and mud box. So boiler accessories, superheater tubes, and it is economizer. Just now I told you the example of the green economizer. It's the green economizer. So just now I told you that it's a scraper. The scraper will be there because if there are any unwanted things are basically mounted to this particular the tubes, so this particular the scrapers are basically reciprocating like this, so they will remove if there are any unwanted things are attached to this particular the tubes. So it is a green economizer, is a air preheater. So that is the cold air is basically heated with the help of the hot flue gases, so hot air will be circulated. The feed pump and a steam trap. So just with the concept of the boiler mountings and accessories, please answer this particular the questions, because everything is already explained. So please answer this particular the questions. So I have given you the 14 objective type of the questions based on this important concept. Later on, you will verify your answers with the answer, because I have already given the answers in the reverse direction. So first you answer on your own, then you compare the given answers. So thank you one and all for listening this important lecture on the boiler mountings and accessories. Thank you.